Hello everybody, my name is Snipers Fun, and I welcome you all back to my next top 10 list we have for all of you here on YouTube. And it's going to be another RWBY top 10 list. Now I know about, a month ago or so I did my top 10 favorite characters from RWBY as far as we know now, from volumes 1 through 4 and including Chibi. And like I mentioned in that video, I'm going to do an update on that list eventually when we get volume 5 and forward. Because, tastes change, favorites change, new characters will be introduced, characters will die off, blah, blah, blah. And we'll see how it goes compared to my old list of that. I wanted to also do that, not just for my favorite characters from RWBY, but my favorite moments from RWBY as well, volumes 1 through 4 so far. And there's been a lot of moments that have happened in volume 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a lot of people have their own favorite moments. A lot of RWBY fans out there, oh, I like this, and I like this is my number 1, this is my number 2, and then, oh, my list is different, blah, blah, blah. And as fans, that's to be expected. We're all going to have different opinions on what we like and dislike about it. Not just RWBY, but anything for that matter. But RWBY especially because we're all fans of it. This is going to be my top 10 favorite RWBY moments as far as we have now, volumes 1 to 4. Let's start with number 10. We start off with, in Volume 3, the RWBY versus Neo and Torchwick fight, because it was like a culmination, like final fight for Torchwick, and there should be spoilers on this list, so if you haven't seen any of this series at all, Volumes 1 through 4, I'm going to be spoiling it. Sorry I didn't mention that at the beginning. But the whole final fight with, Torchwick, where he gets eaten by the Grim and blown up, and then RWBY, because it's been building up since episode 1 of Volume 1, because that was like the beginning part when he was trying to rob the dust shop, and she got involved fighting him. And then you have Neo, his assistant, and she gets blown off like freaking Mary Poppins, and it's just this really cool fight, just kind of seeing more in depth on Torchwick, who's one of my favorite characters. These are 3 of my favorite characters in the series. If you see my top 10 list, RWBY was on that list, Torchwick was like number 2 or 3, I believe. And Neo was like an honorable mention. I liked all the characters, just seeing them all in the, especially now RWBY fighting both Neo and Torchwick, and it's like the final battle for, between them, as far as we know, even though technically he is dead, and they say he's dead, but he always can come back, he's going to be in flashbacks with Neo eventually, and Neo's going to want to come back and get revenge, and blah, blah, blah. It was such a fun moment, and near the final episodes of Volume 3. That's my number 10. Here's my number 9. The Volume 2 school lunchroom fight, for all the crazy wackiness you have between Team RWBY and Team Juniper, just the craziness of it all, eventually RWBY just kicking all their butts, knocking them into the freaking wall, with all the food just splattering them. It's our introduction to pretty much seeing Neptune, and it was just a crazy wacky fight, and it shows just how the fights in the series and the story in the series can be both serious and comedic as well, and it has like that comedy aspect, but not just it being comedy based, but being really, it being an extraordinary scene. They take it seriously. You see these 2 teams that are friends just play fighting, big brawl fighting with turkeys and breadsticks and stuff and food, and it was just such a fun moment in the series, and it was like one of the standout moments for me in Volume 2 at least. And it's my number 9 because it's one of the most nostalgic parts of the show and one of the standout moments I think so far for the show. I don't know what our fans will agree with me or not, but it is for me. And it's enough to be my number 9. The number 8 is going to be the Team Sun versus Team Indigo fight in Volume 3. For the sheer fact that it was such a crazy fight, we got to see Neptune's crazy fear of water. We've seen Team Indigo kicking butt. We've seen the rest. We finally get to see like Scarlet and why can't I remember the other guy's name? Why can't I remember your name? The other I forgot his name now. We finally get to see the rest of Team Sun, which we've seen Neptune at the beginning of Volume 2, but we didn't get to see the rest of the team until here. And it was just such an entertaining fight from a comedic standpoint, an action-oriented standpoint. It's dragging the story forward for these characters. And it was pretty freaking fun to watch. That's my number 8. Let's get on to my number 7. Volume 3, Velvet finally using her weapon, and us finally getting to see what the hell all her taking pictures was going to lead up to. Her using everyone else's weapons, destroying the mechs, just being awesome. Velvet was an interesting character from the start, even though she was very minimalistic in Volume 1. Basically just being the bully target, besides Jean, from Cardin. And then we get to see the rest of the team, Coffee, in Volume 2, and they just kick so much ass. And then just we finally, and it was building up so freaking much. Oh, don't use it now, wait for it. And then she uses it here. And it was a standout moment for Volume 3 near the end of it. And it was so fun. And she's also one of my favorite characters in the show. She's just so awesome. The bunny girl. Just destroying giant robots. Oh, jeez. That's my number 7. 7. Crap. There you go, 7. Let's go on to my number 6. Meeting Blake's parents in Volume 4, because it just was so freaking entertaining when Blake and Son get in on the parents, and then of course the dad doesn't like Son, the mom likes Son, the differentiating parents, just seeing, like, you know, first off, seeing Blake's parents was pretty freaking awesome. We finally get to see what her parents are like, and they're both freaking awesome characters. You know, her mom is like one of my favorite characters because she's just like, we finally get to see a loving mother in the series, which we have not seen at all. And just the crazy dynamic of like how diverse the family is, how Blake's kind of like her dad, and her dad doesn't like Son, and then her mom likes Son, and he just makes everything freaking awkward because he wants to protect his daughter, and blah blah blah, just crazy family shenanigans. It was just such a fun moment. One of my favorite from Volume 4. That's number 6. Let's get into the top 5. The Volume 1, like, training ceremony, whatever the heck that thing was, when they were building their teams, trying to go find the relics, and, you know, the jungle scene, the entirety from being launched off the pads to the final fight with, you know, with the giant bird Grim thing and scorpion Grim thing. I forgot their freaking names. They're escaping my mind right now. But it was just, it was cool because we get to finally really get introduced to these characters, see how RWBY was, how she wanted to be with Yang, how she walked in on Weiss, differentiating between them, Yang and Blake meeting each other, Hera meeting Jean, Ren meeting Nora, these teams coming together, this big comedy elements between these teams, like, and then action elements ending with the fight when they went on the giant bridge and RWBY literally ran up the wall, and it was like the standout moment in my opinion from Volume 1. Volume 1, I know it's the original volume, but it was obviously the weakest of them all. But that moment right there was what defined, I think, at least Volume 1 for me, was that, besides obviously the Cardin, you know, Jean stuff, that part right there defined Volume 1 for me. Oh, and some of the fights near the end. But it was such a moment that defined the beginning of the series for me, and I enjoyed it. That's number 5. Number 4. The introduction of Team Coffee at the end of Volume 2, just destroying everything. Like I basically mentioned, you know, Velvet being awesome in and of itself was awesome, but now we get to see the entire freaking team, which is their first introduction for everyone else. And finally get to see, you know, Velvet not be just the butt of, like, bullying, because that's all she really was in Volume 1. And just seeing them come down, their theme song is freaking awesome, Caffeine, and then just wrecking everything. That's it. That's all I can say. It's an awesome moment, and like one of the defining moments from Volume 2. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's just I enjoyed the moment. It's such an awesome, badass scene. That's number 4. Here's number 3. Volume 4. The big fight with Tyrion running into Team Ranger / you know, basically Team Ranger, or what's the other freaking name that Nora came up with? Junior? Yeah, Junior. Why can't I remember that? It's so late at night. I'm fried. My brain. Team Junior / Ranger fighting Tyrion. The introduction of Tyrion. Tyrion being such an awesome villain. When you first saw him with, you know, Salem and all that, the first episode, and seeing his craziness fighting them, then Crow coming in to save the day, him being stung, with finding out he's a freaking, you know, Faunus, and like it's the kind of the introduction of RWBY to finally, you know, learn about Salem, it was like the defining, in my opinion, the defining fighting scene from Volume 4. And people say, oh, no fighting this, and no story this, and this moment right here was a big moment for Volume 4. People can say whatever they want about Volume 4, but this moment stands out for me as being one of my favorite moments, and it's my number 3. And Tyrion, it makes me like Tyrion so much. And so far, he's like I made my top 10 list. One of my only Volume 4 characters I like so much so far. That he made it. Just seeing him this year on that top 10 list because I love him so much. I love crazy villains like him. Number 3, that was. Let's get on number 2. The Volume 2 dance with Team Juniper. That's all I'm going to say. It was just a warm-hearted, lovable moment. Team Juniper coming together and doing that dance. That's all I'm going to say. Besides, obviously, a lot of the fights during Volume 2, this was like the defining moment, in my opinion, because we finally get to see like them coming together as a team after the whole John trying to go after Weiss and then talking to Neptune and finally realizing his feelings for like Pyrrha, and just this warm-hearted, really friend-driven, like funny moment. It's not even action-oriented. It's not even a fighting scene. It's just character development, really interesting story development. So there you go. Now, before we get to number 1, like always, I'm going to give you a couple of honorable mentions of other RWBY moments that I liked as well. They barely missed the list, but they are also moments, to me at least, that I feel define the show and are some of my favorite moments so far. Let's get started. The dock fight at the end of Volume 1, because it was an awesome moment. It was like the finale of Volume 1, the big dock fight with the White Fang and with Torchwick, and us getting to see Sun actually in action, and it was just a fun fight scene. The mech fight in Volume 2, because we got to see the entirety of Team RWBY taking on Torchwick in a giant mech, and it was just freaking awesome. You're going to hear that a lot on this list. Either it's really funny or really awesome. And a lot of fans, I think, would basically be that simple. The Team Juniper versus Team Burns fight, because it was just so entertaining seeing like Team Juniper like arguing with each other, and then Nora coming in with the hammer, and then like Team Burns actually is a pretty cool team. Actually, I wish we get to see more of them. Brewster Teeth, bring them back, please. The Weiss telling her dad she wants to leave from Volume 4. The entire moment, not even just Weiss telling her, but like the whole confrontation, like Jacques has with her, him slapping her and like disowning her as like the heir to the Weiss, to the Schnee family company, Dust Company. It was just like an interesting moment because that's like the defining moment I think of Weiss trying to step out from her family. I mean, you see moments of it in Volumes 1 through 4, 1 through 3, but Volume 4, like she legitimately is there with her father in front of him, to his face, telling her the stuff that we basically kind of heard in Volumes 1 through 3. So, it was fun. Pumpkin Pete. It was freaking funny, and I laughed a lot. And it was cute. It was just a hilarious moment. Come on. Ironwood being awesome at the end of Volume 3. I was finally getting to see he's half like RWBY, him just using his gun and just beating up Grimm. It was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. The Team Ranger versus Final Grimm, whatever the heck this thing, I can't remember the freaking name of the thing it's based off of. The final fight in Volume 4, because it was freaking awesome. I love the Tyrion fight a lot more, and I think that defined Volume 4 a lot more in terms of a fighting scene. But, Ren getting revenge for his family was pretty freaking awesome too. The whole maiden introduction in Volume 3, I was finally getting to see this big story with the wizard and the maidens, and Pyrrha getting introduced to it, the whole change in Pyrrha's life. Basically, it was a change in the series, and I think that, like a change in tone, and I like that a lot about it. The Jouai intro, because it was adorable as all hell, and it was cute. A giant, like a corgi coming out, and it's their pet, and how everyone reacted. Blake obviously being like the cat. I seen like the Ice Princess, just Ice Queen. I know I said Princess before, I messed that up. Ice Queen getting, warm for, like, getting all, like, for a pet, for an animal, like, all, like, oh, and then, obviously, the sisters. It was a fun moment, and Zwei is one of the best characters in the entire show. We need to see him fighting more. Get Tai Yang out of the house with Zwei and have him fight someone. And Yang training. Because we finally get to see her with her robo arm in Volume 4, kicking butt in terms of training, not an actual legit fight yet, and her actually kind of holding her own with her dad. We just have to see how that translates to her actually in a legitimate fight. And that's it for my honorable mentions. Drum roll, please. My number one favorite RWBY moment as far as now, volumes 1 through 4, is the Team RWBY versus Team Funky fight in Volume 3. Why? Because it was so freaking entertaining. I love Flint. I especially love Neon. Seeing Weiss and Yang fighting them. Yang being all in temper, not being able to hit her. The whole thing Flint has against the Schnee family. This big, like, they're from Atlas, but they stand out not being like these soldier type people, and just how much fun it was. It was so action oriented. The differentiating style, seeing their fighting style especially was awesome. Being like Neon Cat and like the him playing his instrument and stuff like that. And just the music for this fight was freaking awesome. And everything about it was so awesome. I enjoyed it so much because it introduced two of my favorite characters in the show. If you see my top 10 list for this, both of these people made on my honorable mentions list because I love them so much. I want to see the rest of Team Funky. When are we going to get to see the K in the I, Rooster Teeth? The K in the I! Pretty much when we get back to Atlas, I'm sure. When RWBY goes to Atlas, that's probably when it's going to be. But this moment was so freaking fun. It was such a fun fight. For action reasons, for comedy reasons, for music, everything. My favorite moment so far of RWBY, Volumes 1 through 4, is this fight right here in Volume 3. That's my list. I hope you guys all liked it. Put in the comment section what you guys think. What do you guys think of my list? What do you guys think of my top 10? Are some of them your favorite moments of RWBY? Put in the comment section what you guys think. What are your favorite moments of RWBY so far? And what are you looking forward to for Volume 5 and forward? What characters you want to see back? And what moments do you want to see? Let's put it down there and discuss it. Have some fun as RWBY fans. And stay tuned for my next video. Sniping is fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. See you all later in my next video. See ya.